The story of Franklin Castle begins in the late 19th century in the growing city of Cleveland. The mansion was built in 1881 for German immigrant Hannes Tiedemann, a wealthy banker and businessman who had achieved considerable success after arriving in the United States. Wanting to display his prosperity, Tiedemann commissioned an elaborate Victorian mansion unlike anything else in the neighborhood. The house featured more than 20 rooms, thick sandstone walls, carved wooden staircases, stained glass windows, hidden passages, balconies, turrets, and a striking four-story tower that overlooked the surrounding streets. Even today, its dark Gothic appearance makes it seem more like something from a horror novel than an ordinary family home. When construction was completed, Franklin Castle was considered one of Cleveland's finest residences. Behind its beautiful exterior, however, tragedy soon began to affect the Tiedemann family. In 1881, not long after moving into the mansion, the family's youngest daughter, Emma, died at only a few years of age. Historical records confirm the death, although the exact cause has been reported differently over the years. Her passing devastated the family and became the first of several tragedies that would later contribute to the mansion's haunted reputation. Only a few years later, another heartbreaking event occurred. Tiedemann's elderly mother, who had been living with the family, also died inside the house. As the years passed, more members of the household reportedly passed away from illness. During the late 19th century, diseases such as diabetes, pneumonia, and infections were often fatal because modern medicine was still limited. While these deaths were tragic, historians note that they were not especially unusual for that period. The greatest personal loss came in 1895, when Hannes Tiedemann's wife, Louise, died from complications related to liver disease. Historical documents identify illness as the cause of death, but local rumors quickly began suggesting something more sinister. Neighbors whispered that so many deaths inside one home could not simply be coincidence. Stories spread throughout Cleveland claiming that the mansion carried a terrible curse. After his wife's death, Tiedemann continued living in the mansion with his surviving children, but his behavior became the subject of neighborhood gossip. Over time, legends claimed he rarely allowed visitors inside and became increasingly withdrawn. Some stories even alleged that servants mysteriously disappeared or that members of the household met violent ends. However, historians have found little reliable evidence supporting many of these sensational claims, and several appear to have been added decades later. As Franklin Castle changed owners in the 20th century, its mysterious reputation only grew. The mansion was rented to various families and organizations, including a German social club. During these years, strange stories multiplied. Residents claimed they heard footsteps echoing through empty hallways, doors opening on their own, and unexplained voices late at night. Others reported seeing lights in vacant rooms or hearing children laughing when no one else was inside. These accounts remain anecdotal and have never been scientifically verified. One of the most persistent legends involves the mansion's hidden passages. During renovations, workers discovered concealed rooms and narrow corridors built inside the thick walls. Secret staircases connected different levels of the house, and small observation openings overlooked certain rooms. While such architectural features were not unheard of in elaborate Victorian homes, they fueled rumors that the house had been used to hide crimes or secret meetings. Perhaps the darkest legend tells of a hidden chamber where murders supposedly took place. According to local folklore, investigators once found human bones concealed within the walls. Despite the story's popularity, historians have found no convincing evidence that murder victims were discovered during renovations. The tale remains part of the mansion's legend rather than established historical fact. Another enduring rumor claims that Hannes Tiedemann murdered members of his own family. These allegations have appeared in books, television programs, and ghost stories for decades. However, researchers examining historical records have found no proof that Tiedemann committed any murders. Most documented family deaths were attributed to illness or natural causes, and many dramatic accusations seem to have developed long after the family's time in the mansion. During the mid-20th century, Franklin Castle fell into decline. Different owners struggled to maintain the aging structure. Parts of the mansion deteriorated, windows broke, and sections of the interior suffered damage from neglect. Its abandoned appearance made the building even more frightening. Teenagers sneaked inside at night hoping to encounter ghosts, while local residents continued sharing stories of mysterious shadows appearing in upper windows. By the 1960s and 1970s, the mansion had become one of Ohio's most famous allegedly haunted locations. Paranormal investigators visited the property carrying cameras, tape recorders, and other equipment. Some claimed to capture unexplained sounds or photographs showing strange shapes. Skeptics argued that these experiences could be explained by the building's age, unusual acoustics, lighting conditions, or the expectations of visitors. Television programs about haunted places later introduced Franklin Castle to audiences across America. Investigators reported cold spots, unexplained noises, and sensations of being watched. Although these reports added to the mansion's reputation, none provided conclusive evidence of paranormal activity. As a result, Franklin Castle remains a place where believers and skeptics interpret the same experiences differently. Over the years, the mansion has undergone several restoration projects. New owners invested significant effort in repairing damaged rooms, restoring the stained glass windows, rebuilding woodwork, and preserving the building's historic character. Even during renovations, workers occasionally reported unusual experiences, further strengthening local legends, though such accounts remain personal testimonies rather than verified facts. Today, Franklin Castle still stands as one of Cleveland's most recognizable historic mansions. It is admired for its remarkable Victorian architecture and equally famous for the stories surrounding it. Whether those stories reflect genuine paranormal activity or simply the power of rumor and tragedy remains an open question. What is certain is that the mansion's combination of documented family losses, hidden architectural features, decades of ghost stories, and striking appearance has secured its place among America's most famous haunted house legends. More than 140 years after it was built, Franklin Castle continues to attract historians, architecture enthusiasts, ghost hunters, photographers, and curious visitors from around the world. Some come hoping to experience the supernatural. Others come to learn the true history hidden beneath generations of myths. Regardless of what anyone believes, Franklin Castle remains one of the most fascinating and enduring haunted house stories in the United States.